Hello, Scotty Reed here with a Black Talk Radio news report and commentary. And this particular podcast will not be that long. It's just a follow-up to the last podcast I did about Joshua Brown's murder and the speculation of imagination. So you can check that video out in the archives where I show you evidence. I show you police reports concerning act of violence that was committed against Mr. Brown last year. And in response to that video, if y'all do recall, I did tell people that if you come across what you suspect to be fake news in the media, whether it's YouTube, whether it's mainstream media, which I covered some fake news in that last video from the mainstream media, but someone left a comment on my last podcast, and so I'm gonna show that comment to you now. They are asking me to look at Mr. T. West of Afro Synergy. He put out some information about the case, and I'm very familiar with Mr. T. West. I had him on to interview him years ago, back in 2011, 2012, when those conspiracies about Libya and Gaddafi giving African mercenaries Viagra to run around and rape women, that lie, that whole conspiracy to overthrow the government of Muammar Gaddafi, and the mastermind of that plot was Hillary Clinton. So I'm not one who doesn't say that conspiracies don't exist. And that's not even a theory anymore, because it's been proven as fact that Hillary Clinton and the Obama administration was lying about facts on the ground in Libya, and in fact what they did was assist a bunch of jihadists. So I'm very familiar with Mr. T. West and Afro Synergy News. Now he made a video disparaging me because I called him out for being a MAGA hat wearing Trump supporter, which I don't know if he's still a Trump supporter, because that was over a year ago. And when someone disrespects me or something, I just don't have no dealing with them. So the only reason that he's being brought up is because he was brought up in my comments. Apparently he put out a video. Let me pull up that video. And before I pull up that video, my last video, I do need to make a correction. It was not Michael Harriot, the comedic writer for The Root, but it was this woman right here. For the life of me, I cannot remember her name. I issued a written correction in my last podcast description in saying it wasn't Michael Harriot who said that the Dallas PD story about the murder of Michael Brown is BS, which was published in The Rot. And I call it The Rot because it'll rot your brain. And this is the same woman that I called out a few weeks ago, or maybe just last week, for putting out fake news pertaining to Bernie Sanders' campaign. So, these three individuals in mainstream media was pushing that conspiracy theory about they don't believe that people would drive 4 hours to purchase cannabis, which again, I'm not going to rehash that. They absolutely do. So, but Mr. T. West put out a video, and I have determined it to be fake news. Now, I talked about in my last video, I'm not on here to exploit your emotions. I'm not on here to feed you conspiracy theories absent any kind of evidence or any kind of fact, just to get you to click on my video. Now, he has a very provocative title in this video that he posted. Dallas police and a judge likely conspired to kill Joshua Brown. Now, he was reading information in his video that I shared with you in my last video, but I didn't just share information from that incident from 2018 at the strip club. I showed you the police report that included witness statements. And Mr. West gave false information out. Now, when I was first trying to do some investigative reporting on when Joshua Brown was first killed, I looked at this guy too. This guy, I can't remember his first name. His last name is Morris. I think it's on there, Kendall Morris. They're still looking for the person named Golston. I can't find any record of him being arrested. Morris was not the shooter. He handed Golston the gun to kill Joshua Brown's friend, and he shot Joshua. So I listened to the first 4 minutes. It's a 15-minute video. I watched the first 4 minutes, and I got all of this wrong, incorrect information from him. And you know, words are very important, and people try to trick you with words. So I can't accuse him in this title, just in this title, of lying, because he's using the word likely. Okay, Dallas police and a judge likely conspired to kill Joshua Brown, but the evidence that he tries to use to support that is incorrect. And plus, we know it's wrong now, because two of the shooters are in custody right now, and one of them has been shot. Okay, so this is part of my fake news watch. I don't like it when black people are fed wrong information or conspiracy theories on purpose. Oftentimes it's on purpose because they know provocative titles, they know provocative content will generate a lot of clicks and views, and they're hoping to get paid by white corporations that advertise on YouTube, although this video has been demonetized, and a lot of the conspiracy theory type stuff without any kind of evidence is demonetized. I don't even care about getting any kind of corporate revenue from YouTube, okay? I run a nonprofit, Black Talk Media Project, and it is 100% listener funded, okay? So I took a look at that. Now, some more information has come out since, and I actually mentioned this in my last video, that Joshua Brown, well, the past two videos, podcasts, Joshua Brown said that he feared being killed by people in the community, not the police. It's also shown, I also showed you where he didn't want to testify. People were saying, why would he testify? Why would a street pharmacist, unlicensed street pharmacist, testify in a murder case? He didn't want to. And I showed you the evidence of that by the statements from Mr. Merritt. Now, I was listening to, or I was watching Roland Martin's show as he was going to comment on this, and he had a panel, people who work in that, or who have worked in that field, and he also had on as a guest Mr. Lee Merritt, attorney Lee Merritt, and Roland asked him a question, and that question is related to who did Joshua Brown fear was going to kill him. So let me go ahead and roll that video for you so you can hear it from a source that's close to the families, that's close to the case. Although I do feel like Mr. Merritt was trying to play both sides of the fence in the entire interview. So you can go check out Roland's channel and pull that up. He is trying to play both sides of it. Okay, but he was forced to admit in the interview that, come on, bro, let's not feed the people unfounded conspiracy theories. Did these things really happen? Are these people in custody? Was this man shot? So this is the final question that Roland Martin put to Mr. Lee Merritt. So let me cue that up and roll the tape.
Lee, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. Do you know if at any point Joshua Brown asked for protection before, during, or after the trial? You know?
Yeah. Joshua Brown and his mother apparently directly told the state that he didn't feel safe testifying in this case. And it wasn't because he was concerned about police retaliation. It was because he was concerned that people were after him.
People were after him because people were after him because of this case or other stuff?
No, because he was shot less than a year ago in the club.
So he was shot, right, because that was a shooting in November where he was shot outside of a strip club. And so what his fear was not, I'm going to be targeted by Dallas police. His fear was that by me going public because of that shooting that took place, the altercation, that's what he was fearing.
That's what his concern was.
Okay. All right. Well, Lee Merritt, we'll certainly see what happens next. First of all, have they apprehended the 2 guys they announced yesterday?
They have apprehended 2 of the 3 suspects.
Well, first of all, one guy was in the hospital.
So that's 1. He's apprehended.
Right. And so there were 2 they announced, and so of the 2 they announced yesterday, one of them has been apprehended.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Well, we certainly will keep out on this case. Lee Merritt, thanks so much.
Okay, so there's a bit of confusion here at the end. 2 of them have been apprehended. They caught one yesterday, one suspect yesterday, and I mentioned their names in the last video. And then the second one was apprehended because he had to go to the hospital for his gunshot wound. So there's still one out there. And his name has been given, so I'm not sure which one at this point, but I can find the information later. I'm not sure which 2 are in custody because they gave all 3 names. So if y'all really about justice for Joshua Brown and not just about publishing clickbait conspiracy theories that's going to lead our people into a ball of confusion and just playing into their fears and what have you, we don't need to tell lies to show that the police are not to be trusted on anything. But that doesn't mean that everything they say is a lie. Is what they're saying matching up with the facts? And in this case, it is. And as I stated in my last video, if you have evidence, any tangible evidence, video, a witness that can show that anybody else other than these 3 individuals committed this murder, then please by all means share it. Okay, I'm just not gonna play y'all like that. I have too much respect for my audience to waste your time going down rabbit holes with no evidence. And I just wish everybody who had access to a microphone and a camera, whether they're in mainstream media or on YouTube or got their own platform, I just wish that y'all would take this more serious than you're doing and quit exploiting people's emotions. With that said, please continue to support the Black Talk Media Project. If you consume any of the media that's produced on blacktalkradionetwork.com, you're eating the fruit, so please feed the roots. We cannot do this without you. We're 100% listener funded. With that said, peace and blessings to all.